So our last recipe is chocolate pecan bars, and these are really nice, crunchy, smooth chocolate, decadent treat, you know, to have around the house. The kids will love it too. But for this, you need, so it will be a layer of chocolate on the bottom, and then on top we're going to have a layer of pecans mixed with dates to sweeten them up. And in the date layer you add salt as well. So that combination of salt and sweet and crunchy and smooth makes it really yummy. But for our ingredients, this is what we need. So for the chocolate layer, we'll use half a cup of agave, 3/4 cups of cacao powder, and 1/4 cup of cacao butter and coconut oil combination. For the topping, we're going to use 2 cups of raw pecans, 1/3 cup of chopped dates. I like to use the Medjool dates. They're really moist and plump, and usually you have to pit them before you use them. And then a teaspoon of sea salt. So let's get started. So here's our double boiler, just a pot with water, and we have it on high until it comes to a boil, and then we'll turn it down. We're going to put the bowl with the cacao butter and coconut oil on it, and in a couple of minutes it should be melted. All right. So here in the food processor we have our pecans, our dates, and our teaspoon of sea salt. So let's grind it up, and you have to be careful not to over grind it or else it becomes mushy and very sticky, gooey. We want it still with pieces of pecan. You can always pulse it, and this gives you an idea of where you're at. Okay, let me see how this looks. Still a little dry, so let's pulse it a little more. Alright, let's check it. If you take a look here, you can see it's clumped together a little bit, so that looks good. It's nice and moist. Alright, so the topping is done. So for the chocolate layer, our cacao and coconut oil is melted. We're going to add the cacao powder and our agave and just mix it together in this bowl. Half a cup of agave. Make a nice silky smooth chocolate. Get all that agave out there, it's precious stuff. And so we're going to stir it up. So just stir the powder, the oils, the agave together. Makes a nice smooth chocolate. Very liquidy right now. And then we're going to pour it in this baking dish and let it solidify a little bit. All right, it's starting to harden a little bit in the middle, or starting to solidify. Okay, it can be poured straight into the dish. Ooh, look at that. And just make sure to get as much of it as you can. There we go. So now we've got our chocolate in the dish. We're going to sprinkle the pecan mix on top. So as you can see, it's kind of clumpy. So just shake it over and it settles down a little bit in the chocolate, but not too much. So we'll just continue spreading it around, covering as much area as possible. Try and get as even as you can. And a lot of it will sink into the chocolate, but that is fine. And kind of looks like a crumb cake. I actually think we're good, so maybe we can cut that topping recipe in half. Flatten it down a little bit, and then we're going to score it before we put it in the refrigerator to make it easier to cut when it's solid. Okay, so we'll score it here, and actually it's still a little too wet to score, so let's just let it solidify first, and then as it starts to harden, we'll score it with the knife. I would make small amounts. This is very rich, so a little piece goes a long way. All right, so our pecan bars are done, and as you can tell, it's a little liquidy still. We're going to put it in the refrigerator for about half an hour, let it solidify, and if you think of it, maybe take it out after 10 minutes and score it into about 12 little pieces. So when it's completely done, it's easier to take it out. All right, enjoy.